guys? You're on a Monday night with Mike, and I want to give a shout out to the schools I went to last week. I was up in Florence, South Dakota. Awesome time with those guys in Florence. They were fun to hang out with. Then I went from there to Wabe, little town just north of Florence. Had a great time with those guys hanging out. Went from there to Lutheran Lincoln High School in Lincoln, Nebraska. Had a great time with those guys. I've been there before. It was a great time hanging out with those guys again. And I think the volleyball team is going to definitely win state this year. So I'm going to be looking online, watching them. I think the football team is also undefeated, if I'm not wrong, or at least they're like doing really well. Anyways, had a great time. Did some church stuff there as well. And I wanted to jump right into this Monday Night with Mike. I want to talk about failure. I want to talk about how when failure happens in our lives, for some of us, it can be devastating. Some of you, it can be devastating. You get really upset with yourself when you fail. There's some people out there listening to this right now that you are kind of a perfectionist. And so failure is not an option to you. And I'm going to just tell you right now that that's going to drive you crazy and probably really keep you back from growing if you stay with that philosophy, because failure has to be a part of your life. It's going to be a part of your life no matter whether you want it to be or not. And how you handle that is very important. In my book, I actually call it, failing correctly, because I think when people fail wrong, it really devastates them and can put them in a bad way. So I'm going to give you 5 things I think you can do with failure. And number one is you can't consult your failure to create your future, right? If you keep thinking about all the things you do wrong and everything that, all the mistakes you've made and the things that you can't, keep up with or whatever, it's going to keep you back from being who you are. So you cannot do that. Number 2, don't ever wear the identity of your failure. Failure is always going to try to give you an identity, right? It's going to call you names. It's going to say you're this now, you're that now, right? Failure always comes with a new label, a new name. And so don't wear it. Just don't wear it. Don't let your failure, call you a name, basically, or you take that name on, right? I remember somebody one time, I heard the speaker say, it's not what people call you, it's what you answer to, right? What are you answering to? Are you the loser? Are you the slut? Are you the person that made the mistake? No, you're a person who made a mistake, and you can't wear that label. The third thing that I learned that's really important about failure is to strive for direction, not perfection. I always tell kids this in the assembly, that if your hand's on the top shelf, then you won't reach for the bottom shelf, right? So I could warn you all day how bad the bottom shelf is. I can make you feel bad for visiting the bottom shelf, if you're vaping, if you're doing all these things, and you're trying to stop, right? You're trying to stop these habits. Well, the best way to stop a habit like that is to reach for the top shelf, right? Is to go for the direction, just keep going after success, and, don't take your eye off that. When success is not an option anymore, that's when failure becomes part of your life. And so don't do that. Fourth one is put your failure into perspective, right? There's a reason you made that mistake. And one of the things I like about the NFL is they take one day and they look at the film from last week and they analyze it. They put it in perspective, what was happening, what was going on, and then they move on, right? They don't just keep dwelling on it and talking about it. They learn from it and go. And so put your failure in perspective. Your parents might have been going through a divorce. That's why you lost your temper. Or that's why you chose the wrong boyfriend, the wrong girlfriend, whatever. Don't beat yourself up. Look at the whole picture. Look at what's going on in your life right now. And not to give yourself an excuse, but to maybe give yourself a little bit of a break. All right. The last one's real important. If you fear failure, you're going to live a small life, right? You're going to live small because you're fearing failure. You have to embrace failure. Don't you need to take risks. You don't stay safe, right? I love that quote. A ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are built for, right? You're not built to be dormant. You're not built to relax and not take risks. You're built as a human to go out there. You're a fantastic machine. You dream, you have intellect. Man, you're relational. Go out and take risks. Do what you got to do, and don't fear failure. All right. So Monday Night with Mike. Good to see you guys. See you next week. Monday Night with Mike. See you guys. Bye.